Fires are often seen as natural disasters, spectacular moments of destruction, and a process putting homes and lives at risk. But in regions across Canada, fire has played an important ecological role in both maintaining habitat for diverse creatures and reducing the risk of larger, more uncontrollable fires. In fact, in some parts of Canada, these fire regimes would have been maintained by Indigenous communities up until Canadian settlement, with some communities continuing this tradition today. Over the last century, most fire agencies have become preoccupied with fire suppression, because fire puts infrastructure, resources, and people at risk. But fire isn't going anywhere. It's a historic process that many species depend on. In fact, many fire managers and scholars have noted that this fire suppression approach may be putting Canadians at further risk. With this new information, governments, scholars, and even companies are contemplating the different ways to fight fire with fire. The aim of my project is to understand how fire management is carried out, but more specifically, how fire managers return fire to the landscape. My project focuses on fire management at Parks Canada, Canada's national park agency. While still a suppression agency, they are known for their expertise in carrying out what are called prescribed burns. A prescribed burn is the application of fire to achieve specific ecological or risk reduction goals, or to just learn about how certain vegetation types burn. Planning a burn has a number of components, and fire managers have to ask themselves questions like, what kind of vegetation are we dealing with, and how does it burn? How will weather impact the fire and our ability to control it? How often and with what severity have burns occurred here historically? Things that we might call natural components. But fire managers also have to think about social issues by asking questions like, how will smoke impact tourism in local communities? How will this impact my budget? And will the fire put infrastructure at risk? There are also issues that are not clearly natural or social. Issues like, how did Indigenous people use fire on the landscape? Or, how have our earlier policies impacted the forests we manage? What I found is that these fires are very much social phenomena. While fueled by vegetation, the way we manage and encounter these landscapes also matter. It's these human relationships with environments that come to impact the kinds of fires that emerge and the challenges they pose. Many parts of Canada are projected to become drier and more prone to wildfire. Understanding how fire management takes place in a social context will be invaluable as communities, provinces, and even cities grapple with how to live with fire instead of against it.